Hello and welcome back to Wild Survival 101. Today I'm launching a series of few videos anyway, just telling you about or answering some of the questions I've been asked about wilderness survival. Actually, the most fundamental questions, the most frequent questions I get asked. So today I'm just going to kick off with the first three questions. So let's dive into the fundamental knowledge that can save your life in the wild. So the first question I get asked is, what is wilderness survival? Well, survival is about staying alive with limited means, not fancy gear. Okay, so it's about knowing your gear as well, and a lot of the fundamentals as well that go with that. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that as well. It's about knowing about what we call the core four. So that's shelter, water, fire, and food. They're really the essentials. And I said those in a certain order, but depending on the situation you're in, that might not be the order you take them in. You might find yourself in a hot climate where you find that you might not need shelter so much, but the focus might be on finding water and food first of all. And then the third thing really surrounding what is wilderness survival is your mental strength, because your mind is your strongest tool. Being able to stay calm and think clearly. So shelter really is about your primary defense against nature's elements. Water is not only finding water, but purifying water as well. Getting a clean water source. If you have water filters, knowing how to use them and ensuring that they are ready for use when you need them. Fire, essential for warmth, safety, and signaling for help. It can keep wild animals at bay. And food as well as identifying safe food sources for in the wild as well, knowing how to forage for plants, which plants are safe to eat, and you can go further than that and be hunting and trapping as well to kill wild animals as well for food. So the second question I asked is how to start learning survival skills. So first of all, really learn the theory, understand the basics and the why behind each skill. You can practice indoors as well. That's the second step I would do. You can master knot tying indoors, looking at weather patterns using the TV to see what the weather forecast is, and then looking outside and seeing how the clouds form and change and kind of predict how the weather's going to change based on your own observations as well. Also reading books at home as well, and finding online resources as well is good fun. And then you can move on to backyard training. There's a lot you can do in your backyard. You can try various different fire starting principles. You can start with the old method with friction with wood and making a bow and string and the wood, and also there's simpler ones as well. I've seen using a 9-volt battery and some wire wool as well can spark and start a fire as well. And also, if you can practice some basic shelter building techniques as well in your backyard as well. So I'll just mention the rule of threes in survival as well. So this is a good thing to remember as well. You can survive 3 minutes without air, 3 hours in harsh weather conditions. 3 days is the maximum time you can do without water before you suffer from severe dehydration, and then 3 weeks is usually the longest one can survive without food. So the third question is where to learn wilderness survival skills. As I've mentioned, there's a lot online as well. There's some great books out there that I'll mention in a future video. There's a lot of reliable survival websites. There's forums online where you can meet other wilderness survival practitioners, ask them questions based on gathering, and learn from their experience as well. And then if you want to go on to more advanced learning, there's online survival courses you can take, local wilderness groups. Basic first aid certification is a great thing to have as well, just in everyday life, not only just wilderness survival. And then the survival workshops, not only in the classroom, but these instructors will take you out as well. Spend a couple of nights out in the bush somewhere, and you can go through a whole raft of different survival techniques you can learn in quite a short time as well. So remember that perfect practice makes perfect. Start at home, You know, as I mentioned, tying knots, reading books, online videos, move to your backyard, building a simple shelter in your backyard. If you have a tent, practice putting it up so you can do it in the dark. You may need to do that in a survival situation. So test all your gear so you know how to use it. And then guided wilderness trips is another one. You know, there can be 1-2 days more. The instructor is there to help you develop your skills and correct any mistakes you might make as well. And then ultimately you can move on to solo survival challenges. You test your limits within proper safety measures. Start with a day hike, then move on to an overnight hike, and then a multi-day hike. I guess in that situation as well, it's always better to have somebody with you as well. So practice these with a buddy, although some people do like to do them solo to really challenge themselves. So your next steps in wilderness survival: choose a skill. Choose one skill to focus on at first. Research it. A lot of free resources to learn about your chosen skill. Start practicing it at home in your backyard, and then, you know, as you develop it and practice it in the wild as well, share your progress with other people as well. So in closing, remember, you don't need to be in the wilderness to start learning wilderness survival. So what really matters is building your knowledge, you know, step by step, and practicing it safely as well. So I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below telling me which survival skill you would like to learn first. And then I'll look at all those and I'll pick the most requested topics for future videos. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell to stay updated with more survival tips. Till next time, stay safe and keep learning. Take care. Bye-bye.